But this year I went to 8 places to give these kinds of trainings. And then in our first batch, Bachelor first batch, we introduced, this year we introduced the Digital Citizenship and Smart Living Society subject. This is a necessary, I think. That's why we put this subject into our bachelor course, and graduate students and and then postgraduate students also have to learn that. And these are our cybersecurity research labs activities like projects, because they do have to, in marking system, we give the practical projects upon 20 marks. These practical projects are marked by the at least 15 reviewers from the experts, local and global, and some. We invited them, and then we give marks upon that end, and we put these efforts, we put these their contributions to our exam marks. And then we give according to their presentation skill, technical knowledge skills, teamwork skills, efforts, and and their creativities also. Creativities and documentation. They do need to write. They do need to write the book, a project book in detail, and we can classify upon that. And we put the not only for their exam, they don't have to learn by heart. They do need to grasp the concepts and ideas, and they can answer the questions. In tutorial, they just have to answer the quiz. If they can understand very well, they can answer well. Yes, we are the new push. Not very long, only 2 or 3 years we just started, because we emphasize upon practical things. And then we'll show we are learning and we are doing our own local projects. No, it's not enough. That's why we'll show the real practitioners of practitioners' work. Like we are arranging the study tours, do the cybersecurity operations of the banks and some security-related companies we visited. That's why the real persons, the real penetration testers are doing like that, but very limited companies and organizations so far. But we visited, and I do have them to be open-minded and very how can I say. They have not narrow, and then they can explore more. And we like to train the trainers to be more, how can I say, more outstanding than us before. Yes, we would like to promote that. And then they have to do the coursework. Okay. And then for this, we propose this course content because of the course is an examination of critical elements of digital citizenship and exploration of copyright, fair use, and intellectual property. Throughout this course, students will engage in discussions and assignments that will require to think about how to use online technologies in safe, ethical, and effective ways for themselves. And these are the objectives for introducing this course. And then these are the learning outcomes. And then we are giving the awareness, how can I say, seminars, not only to the students, not only to our universities, but also to the very most important persons. They have to handle the cyber crimes incidents. That's why we give awareness to the cybercrime department, cyber cops. And then to the universities, and then we collaborated with EC Council and cybersecurity forums, and yes, like that. And we also gave to the civil staffs, we gave awareness trainings to them too. And then we have collaborations with other universities, foreign universities too. Local, we have about 25 computer universities in our country, and technological 27, and then we collaborated locally and as well as the foreign universities. They are very advanced and they are very mature, and we can learn a lot from them. They are very systematic, course systematic approaches, and we can learn a lot from all the countries, from even in neighboring countries and all over the world. We do need to learn. We do need to. How can I say? We do need to promote, and we do need to more. We do need to more. We do need to do more the subject matters more effective. Panel discussions. We are always sharing. Weekly seminars, weekly awareness seminars. We always hold. Okay, for technical development, we give technical seminars on crowdsourcing cybersecurity, big data analytics for security, exploit development fundamentals, network and internet forensics, and then web security, penetration testing, quantum cryptography, and then we give incident handling training. And then we have some supporting skills programs, because some are not very familiar with Linux or something like that. That's why we give trainings upon that. And then we are the accreditation to EC Council, CH, and then we give free of charge CH trainings, but they do have to pay for the exam fees. We didn't charge anything. CH training version 9, version 10, and then master coursework. Master coursework for special students are doing project upon Android malware forensics, social media forensics, PHP sanitizer to prevent interpreter injection, network forensics, browser forensics, Android forensics, SQL injection, attack prevention system, SSS attacks prevention and countermeasure systems. And then these are the presentations they give, and then. Yes, and then, yes, okay, yes. And then the second batch, Carol just finished their project, practical project upon, because I think they have the basic knowledge of concept in every field, in cybersecurity, digital forensics. They do need to have the basic background. After that, they do need to have, in one direction, specialized subjects. That's why I put them in according to their interests, not force. According to their interests, some interested in malware analysis, okay, in this group, they are the vision. And then digital forensics, penetration testing, secure coding, and incident handling. They are specialized in it, and they are learning a lot, and they know more and more. And then they are the white spy, the red team, blue team, and they compete. And then the project scenario, and master thesis projects. I have first batch 50 master thesis students. They are doing research about malware analysis, IoT IDS systems, API vulnerability testing, secure framework, penetration testing metrics, secure message passing system, and so on. And then for PhD research, e-government application security, Android forensics, computer forensics, database forensics for our cybercrime forensics investigation of Myanmar, and malware behavior analysis. We are doing these projects because of the needs of our country, because we are not a rich country. We are just developing. That's why we do need to implement our own suit. We can buy the professional one, very matured and very featureful products. That's why we are implementing it, and we have just finished one suit, Android forensics. And then next week we'll show the demonstration and we implement in Myanmar and English language, and then they can do very very simple way. They can do everything upon these tools, and we are developing the tools for our country and the forensics tools and everything here. But we are just started, and we still need to amend this, and we still need to update this more and more. Yes, this exploratory and something we still need to add. Yeah, these are the doings. Yeah, yes, they are doing PhD coursework from 10 batch to that now currently 13 batch. They are doing projects upon that. Yes, these are the marking scheme, team-wise and individual-wise. And then we give not only the marks, but also the prizes for encourage more and more. We would like to encourage them more and more. That's why, PhD coursework projects, they are doing penetration testing and like that. And these are the foreign reviewers, evaluators, examiners, judges. And then they are doing this, and they have to, yeah, yes, okay, they have to implement that book too. Yes, they are, and we give certificates to them. Yes. PhD coursework students for 13 batch, they are now doing coursework project on digital forensics, multimedia forensics, social media and Android forensics, IoT forensics, network forensics, and web forensics. Yes, we do need to collaborate from India professors, New Zealand of professors, APNIC experts, Japan, everything. Yes, we do have to get the support from other universities, experts, and other security organizations, experts. Yeah. Yes, study tours. We are going to the SOC of banks. Yes. This is the collaboration. Monash University, Australia Monash University, Mr. Dada Linan and their criminology students came to visit to our university, and our cybersecurity digital forensics master students and their students are roundtable discussions, and yes, the students are very pleased with that. In December, they will come again. The next group will come again. Next group will come again with our second batch students. Second batch cybersecurity digital forensics students. Yeah. Yes, this the yes. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Well, you have heard from our speakers. Nicole bring us from a very global view, looking forward some of the different things and how possible that multi-stakeholder model would be a big contribution perhaps to this type of issues from internet and jurisdiction. And Professor Choi actually bring us into cases with the IP addressing the attributions. I think it's not an easy thing to do, and yet that the cyber world is so complicated. So from our educator, Dr. Mimi, who's looking back to the basic, if we train our students right, morale-wise, ethic-wise, and perhaps that they can really going on the right path. But like one of our people from the audience mentioned that with all this, that a lot of times that the business factor, the elements, is really playing a very, very important role of it. So regardless of the different computer science, computer information majors that students are coming from, it's really what do they think, what they want to do, and going forward in the realistic world, the real world, how can they utilize their knowledge and how can they apply? So I think that the jurisdiction is really, with the internet, it's really a very, very broad areas that we are tackle. So for Cooperation SIG, that we start talking about it, and we also like to hear from you that what are some of your top priority and concerns. And on stage, I have two other speakers who's going to be doing the sharing. From one, of course, in Thailand. Let's hear from them. What do they have to share with us? And also from Nepal, and I will encourage you all to really maybe come to the mic and tell us what are some of the concerns from your observation or from your government sees, and feedbacks and comments. Those are all welcome. And I see somebody is on the mic. Please state your name and the institute so we can keep it on the transcript. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Guo Feng. I'm from China Academy of ICT. First of all, I would like to give my big thanks to the previous speakers for your presentation. Actually, I have two comments. The first one is I think that the topic we are touching upon today, the internet and jurisdiction, which is very important and meaningful. Because I think today the internet has become the most important social platform and economic platform for our economy and social life. And today we have the cyberspace that is anywhere. You can have access to the internet from all around the world. But on the other side, we have the national laws, and also we have international law. And more and more, the consensus is which in my observation is that the consensus is that the cyberspace is not a space without law. The cyberspace is not a space without regulation. And my second point is that more and more I can see there is awareness among most and many nation states about the regulation on the internet. As you may be aware that because of the Cambridge Analytic
Yes.
incident and also the false news, that many countries, many Western countries, also put high emphasis on the regulation on the content of internet. And if you attend the last year's Internet Governance Forum annual event in Paris, you may recall that the President Macron, in the opening ceremony of the IGF, he made it very loud and clear that there is a need to regulate internet. I think this will represent many stakeholders, several hundreds of stakeholders who had signed the Paris Call. And also in those stakeholders who had signed Paris Call, there are more than 60 or 70 of countries. There are countries. So I think last but not least, I think that the cooperation, also the cross-border cooperation, is the only thing we need. I would say that because of the cyberspace, because of the internet, the humankind has become a community, just a community of shared future. So I think I also agree with the previous commenters from the floor from India that the business is a very important area and the area that attracts a lot of attention from around the world, and also perhaps it has the drive from the stakeholders to solve some problem in the business area. So I stop here and also again, thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm very happy to hear the comments from you. Thank you. And thank you. Yes.
Okay, right, thank you. Kenny Huang, APNIC Executive Council member. I'm speaking on behalf of my personal capacity. First of all, thank you for all three speakers. They provide very great insight for all participants. I think most of the participants, they are quite technical background or engineering background. And because most of the people here, they do familiar with the IP address policy. And with the issue you mentioned, or you try to explore, actually it's quite broad for many of us. So if you can consider, is there any other thing we can do from either registry point of view or IP address policy point of view, provide some sort of additional assistance? I think that would be very grateful for the community. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kenny. I think that having that endorsement from APNIC EC is very encouraging. And as with the speakers has been talking, I think that there's a lot of the subcategories that we can actually look into for the internet jurisdiction. There's data, there's content, there's also the domain names that we mostly are familiar with. But of course, from the floor, we welcome more and more comments and feedbacks, and tell us what your concerns, and we can put that into our special interest group. So if there's no one else on the line, I will pass the mic to our, I guess, venue host from Thailand. Let's hear what they have to say, and let's take it from there. Thank you, Martin. Okay. Do you want to either way?
No, it's fine. I can stand up. Welcome to Chiang Mai, everybody. I work for Thai CERT, the National CERT of Thailand. I bring 3 colleagues of mine. They're sitting about in the middle. They can speak Thai. I'm probably the only one who cannot speak Thai properly, even though I work for the Thai government. I was very interested to see in the presentation from Korea about the Sony case that was mentioned. That's actually my favorite case ever. Why? because it highlighted quite a number of problems we see in solving internet problems. First of all, did you know that the actual data breach was performed from Bangkok? And the data that was stolen from Sony was exfiltrated to a server in Bangkok. So the entire operation to steal the data from Sony Pictures was actually done from Thailand. So this was a very, very interesting case for us. And we were very happy to investigate this case. What was also interesting is the group behind this attack is Lazarus. You may have heard the name. They're a very famous APT group. And what's interesting about attribution, that was another topic that was mentioned here, Lazarus always does everything in Russia. So their entire source code, their commands, parameters, etc., they're all Russian words. So they try to place the blame in Russia instead of North Korea. But we know for certain that they're North Korean. That makes attribution very difficult. You cannot say, oh, this looks Korean. No, it doesn't. It looks Russian. Same for other APT groups. It's very, very difficult to pinpoint who they are. Another problem this incident highlighted is the way crime in the traditional sense is being solved, because it's very, very slow. It can take months or years to actually get intel on a case. And we saw the same with the Sony Pictures case. It was actually investigated by the FBI in the US. It was performed from Bangkok. And the FBI needed help from Thailand. For things like that, we have a process called MLAT, Multilateral Cooperation. That can take 6 months to sign between countries. So you have to wait 6 months to actually investigate an incident. That may be sufficient for a murder. It's not sufficient for anything on the internet. You have maybe 2 days, 3 days. If you don't do anything in that time, the evidence is gone already. And we've actually seen that. So what we suggested to the FBI in that particular case, we said we're not going to wait 6 months. We are going to invite you to step on an airplane, come to Bangkok, and file your complaint locally. Because then it becomes a local investigation, and we don't have to waste the time. So that's what they did. They came to Thailand to file the complaint, and that actually started the investigations, but we were too late already. APTs destroy everything as soon as they know they're breached. So that's for the Sony case. Another thing that's very interesting from Dr. Mimi's presentation is educating people. Not just educating security personnel, but also educating the youth of today about netiquette, about things to do and things not to do on Facebook. Don't share everything on Facebook. But in Thailand, we have a strategy we call Thailand 4.0, which means we are going to make the entire country digital. Currently, most of the commerce is done in Bangkok and in Chiang Mai, the second city of Thailand. But if we want to succeed and make Thailand more successful, we need to have infrastructure everywhere in the entire country. Thai ISPs probably know this. We have to build infrastructure, internet infrastructure, fixed internet infrastructure throughout the country. That's a massive, massive operation because it's simply not there. We have mobile infrastructure. It's pretty good coverage in Thailand. But if we want to promote e-commerce, we need infrastructure in every city, every town, everywhere in the country. And not just internet infrastructure, but if we are focusing on commerce, we actually need real roads infrastructure. Because to travel, to send goods from one side to another, you need roads. We don't have them everywhere. So that's another topic. And if we want everybody to use the internet, we have to train them, not just the youth, but also the people who are older already, 40 years old, 50 years old. Maybe they're using the internet for the first time. We want them to do shopping online, they're banking online. They have no idea how it works. They really haven't seen the internet at all. They don't know what the dangers are. And well, of course, we are focusing on e-commerce pretty big now, so we changed the law in Thailand where currently restructuring our agency, Electronic Transactions Development Agency, where TiCert is located, to become an e-commerce sector-based cert. So we want to really help the e-commerce industry to build secure products. Because what my fear is that it's the speed of everything is a problem. If we are seeing e-commerce sites popping up everywhere in the country, I fear we are making the same problems that we made 20 years ago. We build a website in WordPress or whatever, it's insecure, it gets breached, all the data of Thai people are online. I fear we're doing the same thing again, unless we train them with secure coding, etc. Exactly what's done in Myanmar. So there's a lot of work being done. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. And well, my fear is just the speed of it. Everything is going so extremely fast. And we need each other with incidents. It's always cross-border. There's never something just happening in one country. DDoS attacks and breaches, it's done from everywhere. I think we have 8 minutes, and we have more speakers.
If you don't mind, I'd like to comment on the first commentator's talk. Okay. Last year I was in Paris, IGF, and then I also heard that what President Macron stressed. That he stressed about some trust in the internet, because internet is very, very important in this world. But I personally, from the skeptical point of view, his idea is too much ideal, because the corporate, his idea is basically based on the cooperation of the states. But in the United States level, there's some kind of the cybersecurity talks, but it's failed, already failed. That means without network operators corporation or another internet platform, they cannot penetrate any kind of their scheme to figure out who is behind of the cyber attack. That means, but I personally believe the cooperation between states, he said, the methodology said that 6 months, 10 months, it takes forever. In technical terms, the transaction cost of the international legal cooperation or treaty making, it takes forever. But 200 countries, it takes ages. Martin already told that the APT evidence is destroyed very quickly. How can we catch up with this speed? It's almost impossible. That means, based on this finding, I said that the President Macron's talk is just a political doctrine. It's just kind of he's trying to showing up what Francis do there. But the very, very sophisticated attackers behind of the darkness, they are very quick. They're very good. And how can regulators get things done? That's why we need this stakeholders model to figure out this effectively. Thank you.
Yeah, regulate, not regulate, it's never an easy thing to say, and the jurisdiction is never really an easy topic to tackle, but I'm glad that at least that we are opening the door to look into it, and I'm sure there's a lot of the questions and comments from the floor, so whether we have time here to hear from you or off the stage, we are here to listen. And last but not least, I want to have my co-chair, Bikram, to give some comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I have noted some of the highlights of the sessions. I don't need. So there is no universal applicable jurisdiction rules in practice. So least developed and developing countries lack the legal skill, knowledge, and capacity relating to the jurisdictions. Clear rules related to jurisdiction is essential to attract, investigate, and technology transfer. Modern law of jurisdictions maybe help country to formulate necessary laws. I think IG-related organization college and other social organizations, including APNIC, should think about coming forward to build knowledge, skill, and capacity related to jurisdictions. So some of the highlights here I have noted. The global cyber attribution consortium should be required to build this, address the internet jurisdictions. And Dr. Mimi has highlighted on the education, skill capacity building and awareness, and cybersecurity research lab awareness activities, skill development project, and most important thing is collaboration is needed to address this internet jurisdictions. So I think most of the things is internet and jurisdiction is very complex things, and it's difficult to address not only from one country. We need to have a collaborative approach to address these issues. Thank you. And one more important information that in Nepal, we are going to host APIGF 2020, and I want to invite you all in Nepal, Kathmandu, and government also announced in 2020 visit Nepal. So I would like to invite you all in Kathmandu. Thank you.
So next year, 2020, let's maybe meet in Nepal for this wonderful APIGF meetings. So any comments from the floor? I think we are exploring internet jurisdiction, not an easy one to tackle, but we want to, from the encouragement from you and also from our speakers to give the kickoff sharing. Hopefully that we can have more conversation, later on during the breaks and anytime when you see all of us, okay? With that, I want to close this session and thank you very, very much for your participation. Thank you.